My name is Cadeem Gibbs. I'm 24 years old, and I am currently a consultant for the Children's Defense Fund.
The earliest you've been incarcerated was at age 12.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that?
So I was in military school actually at the time. And I think there was this big fight, and for one reason or another I had a firearm, and I had the firearm in my book bag, and I went to school with it. Shortly after the fight, the other kids that I was having a fight with, their parents decided that they wanted to press charges. So in light of doing that, I was searched and the firearm was recovered from my backpack. That was also very nerve-wracking. I mean, it's much different from the youth justice system because, at 16 in New York State, you're automatically prosecuted as an adult for any and all offenses. So, I'm 16 years old and I'm in a facility with much older men and being treated like an adult in the criminal justice system. Going back and forth to court, I didn't understand any of what they were saying. I didn't have much family support. So I kind of was just being forced through. It's kind of like being on a conveyor belt and you have no control over what's going to happen. So I got out. I was homeless. My mom had actually fell deeper into her substance abuse issue, and she was actually in a shelter. I went there for a little while, and then I just decided that I didn't want to be there anymore, so I went back into the streets.
And when you got out, did you get any help, or did you seek any help from maybe organizations that may help?
No, because at that time, thinking in retrospect, I was ignorant that any of those support systems existed. I just kind of lived in this bubble where the only options were to engage in illegal activity in order to provide a livelihood for yourself. So those options didn't exist in my world. Because after the 6 years, I was able to have, during the 6 years, I was able to have a moment of clarity, and I decided that I wanted to break the cycle that I was putting myself through as far as the criminal behavior and just the lifestyle. So during that time, I began developing a plan for myself. I started educating myself. I actually was taking college courses while I was in prison.
So what other re-entry issues did you have, maybe in terms of, I know it sort of ranges very widely, but in terms of maybe getting a job or housing or any other, issues of that kind?
Definitely with employment. For the first few months, it was kind of rough, because of my record. I wasn't being considered for any employment, even after applying and being honest on the application. And it's I can remember going through the interview and acing it, and being granted a second interview and acing that, and my resume was on point, the way I presented was on point, and as soon as the issue of my criminal history came up, it's all red flags were waved and all bets were off. It's that's the only thing that employers seen. Forget the fact that I was qualified, in some cases overqualified for the position. So that process became disheartening.